Peace, family. What's up with you? You smiling today, having a good day. You woke up today to make it to even hear this video. Shout out to you then. This your brother King Oz with another one. Uh, Today I want to talk about something that a lot of us should know. So for those who do know, please put some comments in the comment section to add on to this. But today what I want to talk about is something important. It's called the Christian Black Codes. First thing you should have heard right there was Christian. So we're already dealing with religious tyranny, religious genocides, okay? Black codes. So we know exactly who they're aimed at, regardless of what you want to do or how you view yourself. Christian black codes are very clear on who the target is, who the attacker is. Okay? So when we talk about the black codes, we gotta, for those who don't know, and this is for those who don't know. For those who do know, once again, put some comments in the comment section to add on to this. Give better perspective, different perspectives. This channel is about building, so let's build, y'all. So the black codes were used to restrict the freedoms of African Americans, blacks, Negroes, whatever you know floats your boat. Often through legally, and I use quotes right there, legally sanctioned means, okay? So understanding these laws help in recognizing how legal systems can be used to perpetuate inequality, okay? These codes, the Christian Black Codes, were designed to maintain social control and limit the economic, social, and political advancement of African Americans. Once again, it's a religious genocide, it's a religious bullying, it's a religious attack, if you will, okay? A side note, which we might get into in the next video, probably, but the side note that is literally a note you should take is Christopher Columbus is a part of this breakdown. I might not get to him on this specific video, but for the scientists out there who want to study, for those who don't know about this, take that side note and go study it. Christopher Columbus in the Black Code, Christian Black Codes, okay? Okay. The Black Codes are rich area of academic research. Understanding this provides insight into the legal and social history of the United States. For lawyers and legal professionals, understanding the Black Codes is a part of a broader knowledge base that can enhance their ability, your ability, potentially, to serve effectively, especially those from historically marginalized communities. So, right now, all I'm doing is delivering the reason this is important to know. We'll get into some more of the specific things in a minute, but I want to get this through to you guys. You dig what I'm saying? Knowing about these codes helps to trace the continuum of racial injustice and the evolution of discriminatory challenges faced by African Americans after the Civil War. This wasn't too long ago, y'all. It helps in the evolution of discriminatory laws and practices over time. These laws are still being implemented. Only difference is from then to now is they've changed the form it comes in. Back when this first took place, during the times we're talking about, they were blatant. Of course, they were blatant. You know, all love to my family out there. But these white boys and girls had a little bit of a stranglehold on our fight or flight. You know, they knew how to keep us mentally enslaved, which kept us physically enslaved. It's a new day. They know we not going for that straight out attack us type thing. You know, they do it differently now. They implement statutes and torts and shit like that. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. So they've only changed how it looked, not what it does or the effect it has, just on how it looks. Excuse me while I sip on my coffee. But in summary, to summarize this portion, right? Understanding the black codes is crucial for several reasons, including providing historical context, informing legal and social justice efforts, enhancing educational and personal empowerment, and promoting informed civic engagement. This knowledge helps in recognizing and addressing the roots of systemic discrimination and in fostering a more just society. So knowing better, you do better. When you know the past of this, you can recognize the present of this attack. Okay, so knowing how it went down then helps you understand how it's going down now. So let's kind of get into the history of it. Now that I took the time to speak to you guys and give you a more present day perspective, let's go back and actually look and see what was going on, okay? So the black codes, the Christian black codes, were initiated during the Reconstruction era after the Civil War. And the reason it was implemented was to control blacks after they were quote unquote emancipated. This was passed by southern states, but instead of giving blacks the same rights as whites, of course, the Christian black codes, or the codes, limited black people's freedom severely. Of course. These same codes were said to have been made null and void with the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865. But many southern states adopted the codes to keep former slaves, not even slaves, former slaves, from what? Voting. Why? You can't give us no power. You can't give a slave. A slave cannot have the same power as his master. You dig what I'm saying? So it kept former slaves from voting. And of course, they imposed other restrictions, which we'll touch on a couple to give you an idea. The 14th and 15th Amendment were to supposedly exterminate the codes. Of course not. But as you read and you study, the codes, along with the law of the land, in conjunction with religion and politics, you'll discover that the codes have been made to be modernized and disguised, and many are still in use. And like I said, we will get to that part soon, real soon. So, before I give you just a couple examples, let me let you know this off rip. There are 54 codes that are strictly for black folks. Once again, they haven't went anywhere. I don't know how to get this through to anybody clearer than what I'm saying right now. These codes are still being implemented. They're just disguised and modernized. Think about that real quick. It's 2025, right? All right, so why are slave codes still being implemented upon black people? Unless, oh, okay, so we are still slaves. Okay. We're still slaves. We might not agree to it, but that's how we're being viewed. That's how we were promoting ourselves with all the BS that is being promoted about black folks. You don't think you don't think they see us in the same position we've always been in? But okay, anyway, let's keep going. Let's look at some of the codes. Blacks had to be in service of a white person. Let me ask you, and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. When you go to work, who's your boss? I'm just asking. 9 times out of 10, it's a white man or woman. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Blacks could not congregate together. You ever seen a group of black people, men, women, boys or girls, in front of a store? Or I'm just saying in general, in a group, in the neighborhood, in the yard, on the porch, and cops pull up, say, what's going on type shit? Yeah, okay, that's why. Blacks could not speak out. No, we can only push the narrative of our oppressors. Okay, I'm just making sure you're with me. Pimp. Blacks could not have weapons. Don't this sound familiar? Don't they give you a record before you can get a gun? That way you can't get a gun. You go to jail, you get something done to you, you get legal troubles. Now you can't get a gun. Think about it. So before anything happens in a young man's life, 9 times out of 10, we get into some legal shit, some legal issues. They slap us with a felony. Now we can't own guns. That's a system. That's a setup. That's an attack that I think black folks are still behind the 8 ball on. They don't get this aspect. They think the legal system is just against blacks completely, and I can't argue that. Well, my point is they don't even know these codes exist. So the setup doesn't pop out at them, so to speak. They don't understand that. You dig what I'm saying? So blacks could not have weapons. So how do they do it now? We get in legal troubles, they give us a felony somehow, some way, through illegal search and seizures. We don't know our Fifth Amendment, shut the hell up, don't say nothing, and we fall into the trap. Whatever it may be, bro. They give us that nice little felony. That felony says you can't have guns. You are the protector of your family. You are the protector of your people. But now you cannot use weapons to protect yourself. It's so easy to attack a people that cannot defend themselves. This is very easy. Physically and mentally, it's easy to bully and attack and subjugate and enslave a mentally dead people. Minorities. The whole game. It's a whole game. So we're minorities, right? That's a minor. That's a child. That's a baby. Cannot speak, cannot defend itself, cannot speak for itself, cannot stand for itself. It's a cold game, but it's a real game. So what else could they, what else did these codes implement? Blacks could not go out without a white supervisor. Okay, so I don't know about this one. I'm gonna keep it being with you. I guess the closest thing I could think of is, it depends on where you're from, okay? But it's like this for a lot of places, so I'm gonna speak openly about it. And if it's not how your little city, your little town gets down, that's fine. That is fine. You just ain't from where a lot of us is from. But let's go back to blacks could not congregate together, right? We in the hood together. I don't know about your neighborhood, but where I'm from, niggas is outside. We all outside. We in the jacks kicking it. We all together outside kicking it, kids, music, all that. Females walking around with ass out. Niggas sitting around their cars playing music, smoking blunts, playing spades or whatever we doing. Kicking it, right? Now, if you from a place like that, that's like a place where I'm from. You dig what I'm saying? You notice that the cops like to patrol your neighborhood a whole lot. A whole lot. That's the closest thing I could think to not going outside without a white supervisor. Because when I go out there, it ain't nothing but white folks. I mean, white police riding up and down, waiting to catch a motherfucker. You dig what I'm saying? Waiting to see somebody who looks or fits the profile so they could stop them type shit. You dig what I'm saying? That's the closest thing I can think of to that one. But there are 54 codes that are being implemented in 2025 that black folks just do not know. Once again, if you are a scientist and you've studied and you know this already, please make sure somebody else does too. And if you can, drop some comments in the comment section to add on to this. Okay? If you know one of the codes and you got a great example, put that motherfucker in the comment section so we can all build on that. But let's just go over the couple that I did speak on. Blacks had to be in service of a white person. 9 times out of 10, your boss at your job is a white person. Blacks could not congregate together. You ever see that? I have. You ever get to see a group of black people together and the cops come fucking with them? Why you always fucking with us? That's why. Blacks could not speak out against anything their white oppressors say. That's very self-explanatory, actually. But then you got these coons, these Reverend Al Sharptons and Jesse Jacksons and and motherfucking Charlemagne's and all the motherfucking Charlestons. You got all these little Negro peons out here just being mouthpieces for the white man. That's a great example right there. Blacks could not have weapons. Your ass is born, you grow up a little bit, somehow, some way. Not every black man, not every black woman, so don't take it that way. But a lot of times, majority of the times, they slap us with a felony through some unlawful, illegal law, shit they've done and strategized against you, illegal search and seizures, making you talk when you don't have to talk, shit like that. They give you that felony, now you can't have a gun, a weapon, excuse me. That's how they get that one out the way. Blacks could not go out without a supervisor. I kind of just talked about what my perspective on that is. So, family, these are the Christian black codes. This is very important to understand, just to understand another aspect of the attack on the black man and woman. With that being said, I love every one of you guys, and I hope you guys are out there being great like I know you can be. This is your man, King Guys. Please support. Please share. Please hit the like. Please share. I'm going to say it twice. Share this. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let people know it's real knowledge out here. Peace.